20 minutes, they're going to lose in team fights. They have almost all single target damage, and scaling roll the roll is not really better than blue in any single position. So they're really needing to go all in on this pick.
And that's where you've got to hope that FNATIC have somehow found a bucket load of confidence hidden somewhere inside the venue here, because yesterday they didn't look like a super confident team. There were some very sketchy moments for them, some very nervous looking plays, and with this kind of composition they just can't afford to think too much about the play that they're going to make.
With those kind of stats,
you kind of fudged the last one 100% on Jarvan.
Like, yeah, shove that one.
I'll go with undefeated as well, but the fact that they haven't lost with any of those champions is a little bit ridiculous.
Well, guys, remember, we want to know who you think will win this match. Tweet hashtag SSBWin or FNCWin. Win, not win. And we'll be checking in throughout the game to see how your vote changes. A scary, scary lineup here for Samsung Blue. Of course, the favourites coming out of this group, you could argue, along with their sister team, Samsung White, the favourites for the whole thing here in the World Championships.
And, you know, once again, just because they did give away that first pick Zed to Dade, I'm going to go over this mid lane matchup once again. I said it yesterday, but now that Zed spawns behind you when he uses his ultimate, Pekka is going to have to be on point with that charm. As soon as he comes in, you have to immediately throw your charm right behind you to tag him. Or we've already seen it yesterday at groups. Zed diving turrets against Ahri, and you don't even have enough time to get away with the Spirit Rush if you don't hit that charm. But good news is he will always spawn in the same spot, so if you're expecting it.
Unless you turn around too early and then he's kind of back where you thought he wasn't going to be when you throw your charm.
Better time it right.
Better time that one right. We'll see how Peke handles this one. Of course, a Season 1 World Champion. Got pretty close last year as well. But I think it'd be very much a dream scenario for him if he was to be able to pick up a second World Championship. There's some early wards going down on the bottom side. Yellowstar inside the brush will spot Heart and the vision that they're getting down.
Ooh, in range for Flay.
Might not. Oh, that was brilliantly waited out by Heart. We'll see if he's waited too long here. The Ignite is going down. It's not going to be enough damage to get the kill. And Death along there with the roam from Dade will be able to force him off. Heart going low. Didn't use his flash or exhaust, so really being so patient and knowing exactly how much damage he could take.
I feel like that would have been a summoner spell if he had started Flay for the easier to hit spell. But he went for the 100%. He went for the kill. He wanted to go all in, go for the hook to bring him in.
But because he missed the hook, it ends up being a summoner disadvantage for FNATIC. They were saying on the analyst desk one of the only ways they see FNATIC winning this game is if Rekkles and Yellowstar can go aggressive at the right situation. You can see they're even building towards that with the Ignite and the Doran shield onto Yellowstar. It's like they wanted to trade. Now that those items have been spotted out, you can see Deft is just getting away from that lane. They're not going to allow the Doran shield to be a lane advantage. Instead, they'll take the extra ward control that Hart started with and the gold generation from his item.
See if we can continue those great stats as well. The leads that he's had at 10 minutes in the lane when it comes to farm compared to his opposite number. Rekkles himself, not a bad farmer, that's for sure. And we're looking to make the most of that 2 versus 1 scenario. This mid lane, Dade already putting down, and also missing one shuriken there onto Peke. This lane is definitely one to be keeping an eye on. Peke's got to go all out in this match.
Yeah, he's got to constantly try and shove Dade under that turret. Use this lane control to try and make something happen with that early Elise. All right, so as after seeing the lane swap here, they finally brought him down for the double jungle, but he's much later on it. Acorn's already got a level on him because they started with the double jungle, them being the ones that decided to go for this lane swap.
On the top side, Spirit actually double buffed up already along with Acorn. Gonna make a bit of a play on this one, getting the wards in. Is it a case of clearing out the jungle, or are they gonna put 4 men straight on the tower?
Well, it was a delayed lane swap, so the freeze couldn't be set up properly in the top lane. Because of that, they're going to be going for a fast push. Whether FNATIC answers with the dragon or with a fast push of their own is yet to be seen.
And even if they could answer with that, well, it looks like they are actually doing a fast push of their own. They're going to try and go turret for turret.
They can absolutely answer with the dragon, but they just don't want to, it seems like.
Will they be able to time it fast enough to go for that bottom turret and then swing around to that dragon. Not sure about that front, especially since they pulled away. So they're going to leave Reckless to go for the tower. They'll send the other 4 towards the dragon.
So the thing is here, a lot of teams take this trade, dragon for top turret in the lane swaps. However, if you pull that top turret lane swap correctly, you kill the tower correctly, and then group the minions to get them pushing back at you after you take this turret, then the ramifications later in the game are actually in favor of the team going with that top turret. Because for Dragon, your top laner is going to get much less experience. It's only 150 experience for this early Dragon, and that's split among everybody who's at the Dragon. So you can see Soaz is going to be at a experience disadvantage, whereas up top, Acorn shoving the wave, you get 206 experience per wave, and that's not even counting a cannon minion, plus an extra 30% if you're sharing it with people. So the team overall, that would bring it up to 268 experience just for that lane. Now, investing in experience is an investment in your future gold earning potential. So even though the initial gold trade is the same, the level discrepancy of your top laner is a great tool that a lot of, especially Korean teams, have made use of. Now they're going to be matching up.
That was a charm from Peke landing down. They may be in trouble. Cocoon lands backrange there from Cyanide, but I'm getting a bit overexcited from that one. The damage not quite there yet.
I'm happy you got to use those numbers, Kobe. I saw you prepping them all pre-game. I'm going to save that one so I can remember those numbers for later as well. But you can definitely see FNATIC with the slight gold advantage, but as you said, the experience is a whole other story.
They got the minion wave pushing back against them. That's the key part. After they killed the turret, they grouped them up and got the minion wave pushing in Acorn's favor. So now Soaz has to play on his terms. What this does is because Soaz doesn't have a turret, sometimes it will draw the jungler up there to try and protect him. Cyanide, though, and the rest of FNATIC, focusing on the bottom lane here, do get seen by this pink ward.
Whilst we were earlier on talking about Alliance having the worst amount of wards cleared per minute in their games, FNATIC have the best, and we see it there once again. Yellow Star moving in with the rest of their team. They see the pink ward going down. They will group up and just get rid of those big areas that you...
Well, here it is, 6 to 5!
They're going to dive straight in on top of him, but no, not quite the damage. Well, nowhere near the damage to finish off.
Yeah, he was jumping on that level 6 to level 5 advantage to get a health advantage. However, Peke with a good response there. We talked about responding very early to that Zed ultimate. So far, so good for Peke.
I think we're really just starting to see these lanes balance out now. The junglers are pretty even. Peke has survived that lane remarkably well early against Dade and wasn't even harassed down heavily by the death mark. And we get to see this 2v2 lane happen now where Reckless does have the experience advantage as well as CS advantage over Deft. Plus he's a pickaxe to a longsword health crystal, so if FNATIC can get a little bit aggressive in this lane, they could start pulling some individual enemies.
Yeah, he is going to get that level 6. They could even shove down another wave with his culling and try and get turret pressure here. The problem is ward coverage right now in Blue's favor. They've got ward coverage all over this bottom side.
However,
Jungler shows top though, that means there's no more threat.
Jungler showing on that top side means that they can do whatever they want. There's a bubble there onto Reckless, and it seems like they've managed to force FNATIC away, at least for now. There's the culling coming through, but actually Hart walking into that entire amount of damage there, going very, very low.
A pretty big misplay there by Hart there. If he hugged the wall, he clearly wasn't getting hit by the culling, and he seemed to walk into it. But now he's extremely low, and there's no reason for this turret push to stop except to teleport.
Oh, that teleport coming down bottom. Yellow Star's on less than half HP. Here comes the reply, though. Soaz is going to come down. Yellow Star staying out of vision this entire time. Dade's onto Peke, flashing from... No! Got him! Yes, they got him in the end. Down the bottom. No one actually died in the end, thanks to those reverse teleports coming in. Soaz coming down to answer Acorn. It was all about the mid lane and the minions bringing Peke back in, but first blood went to Dade.
So in the end, even though down bottom, Acorn misses his Glitter Lance and they don't get a kill, there's no kill down bottom, they have control of the wave, and Deft gets to shove it into turret here. See how many CS, Reckless, and Soaz can pick up under the turret. Looks like all of them.
That mid lane fight was pretty cool, though.
Yeah, we'll probably get another look at that here. All right, so here's the duel once again.
Good
Charm already used, so that's why Dade's going to go all the way in here.
The thing was,
2 minion shots. That ranged minion, what a hero.
What a
MVP. MVP of FNATIC's game so far. And I mean, Peke choosing to go for the flash without the minions, that wouldn't have been worth it. Gets it in the end though, and he's going to come back into lane with a needlessly large rod. If we look down the AD carry, is actually Reckless deciding to go straight into his boots here, picking up those Berserker Greaves and the pickaxe.
If we're looking at this game big picture though, as we saw in Champion Select, Samsung Blue has ridiculous edges in team fights, and this early game has been fairly muted. It's been very close, which is something that is very comfortable for Samsung Blue. One thing I like to say about them is Blue is very unimpressive until they straight up win, and that might be the story of this game. Well, before now, saying that Blue had lost an embarrassing number of scrims to Western teams by their standards, and honestly, it definitely seems like FNATIC, I've heard they've been showing up very well in scrims as well. Obviously, they're not scrimming against Blue because they're in the same group. But even in the first game we saw today, Alliance versus Najin White Shield, Alliance put up a great fight in the mid game. I mean, these European teams, they came to play.
Yeah, these groups, this group,
it's a group of death. Like, it's not easy for anyone.
Said they were going to be exciting at the beginning of the day.
And it makes this group, if FNATIC are to win this one, absolutely insanely wide open. FNATIC are going to go in towards this bottom inhibitor now. There's no turret there from that push earlier on. Inhibitor spawning back in. FNATIC just have to be confident about this one. They have to use the advantage that they've got going. There is Reckless stepping forward. The Culling will knock Samsung Blue away, and that is the inhibitor going down.
It's a smart move to concede that by Samsung Blue. If they fought them with the Baron buff and no turret to aid them, it would have been game. They're going to try and force the final fight of the game at one of their inhibitors that is at least defended by a turret.
And honestly, one line of super minions is manageable as long as it doesn't snowball into 2 lines. Like, they still have the ability to clear the side wave here with Dade fairly quickly and then move right back up if the fight breaks out. The thing is, if one of these hooks again lands onto Deft, where they can burst him down before the reactions from Acorn and Heart, same story will be true.
Culling is back off cooldown as well. That could be what FNATIC need here to force Samsung Blue once again away from this turret. Yellow Star keeps those hooks flying through, trying to just catch someone that FNATIC can make the jump on. We'll see about that. Peke does step forward now, and there is a Culling coming through. It's Death that it connects onto, and that means that FNATIC have already got that inhibitor turret down. Spirit goes down. Oh, last second wild growth. They got the tower, and they're going to get Acorn. This could be it for FNATIC. Now they're trying to get away. Peke goes massive, gets the double kill. 2 inhibitors down. Are FNATIC going to look to win the game? No, they want to do it by the book. They're going for top.
They've killed both solo laners, so the defense for the 3rd inhibitor is near impossible, but they seem like they have the momentum. Big death timers, 3rd inhibitor potentially on the way. Deft Spirit still alive.
FNATIC stepping up once again. This time Samsung Blue back away. So that's going to go towards Spirit. No stun, he's too healthy. Only gets the slow, but he'll force them away. 3 inhibitors down for FNATIC. Super minions coming in through that bottom lane. There's another Culling towards Deft. They're going to try and get in. The hook pulls the minion. Can they land one of those big CC chains and lock a man down? They're going in for the Nexus turrets. They get the first one.
They just got to focus
trying to hold it off. We've still got 15 seconds for Dade to come up. There's the second Nexus turret. Peke using a last second of FNATIC are fighting here. Is it going to go well for them? Is it going to go their way? They finish it off, and FNATIC take down Samsung Blue.
Can I just say that Peke showed up and proved everybody this game that he still has it. Finland, Dade on set, when he went into that counter pick in mind, chose the Ari, which is skill matchup, all based on that Tom, and he had such a tremendous impact on the team fight. Pick after pick after pick, bursting down that single target champion, and Dade on Zed did not have the same success.